Hey, y'all. Welcome to Life with the Lindseys. My name is Heather.
And what's up, yo? This your boy, Cornelius.
Yes, I'm so excited you landed on our podcast, and your life is pretty much going to be changed.
Yes, man. If you're looking for something real, relevant, and authentic, then you landed on the right place. Hey, here's the thing. We about to get going right now, so y'all tune in, buckle up, sit back, get ready for the show. Here we go. We're on, baby.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to Life with the Lindseys.
Welcome to
We
Life
fancy
with the
today.
Lindseys.
We in the studio.
Amazing Yay Networks. Absolutely
Yes.
amazing. So yeah, baby, what are we talking about today?
I feel like so many marriages are going through so many hard things right now. I think we should talk about navigating a difficult marriage.
Navigating a difficult marriage. We've never had a difficult marriage.
We've had the most
our
perfect
marriage. It has been so freaking
we've
perfect.
never had conflict.
I
We've
don't
never
think I've ever-
argued. I'm like
I've
the
never
perfect
argued with
wife.
you.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm not the perfect wife.
There's no one perfect but Jesus.
But at least gas me up. That's your job as a man.
Oh, wow. Wow. Let's lay down this rule book of expectations.
All right, we're kidding. Obviously, you guys.
Yeah, we just
obviously
joking.
we're kidding.
We're joking. It's not. Yeah.
We've had
our fair share of troubles.
I know. So a little bit of background of our story of people who may not know our story, babe. I don't know if we've shared our story.
We shared our story. I mean, we've been doing this for almost 3 years. We've shared our story.
We might have a new listener.
Come on, if you new out there, what's up?
So we've been married for 12 years.
12
It'll
years.
be 12 years this August 14th. And we courted for 1 year and 8 months. So we've been together for about 14 years altogether, which sounds so long.
Sounds
so long, right? And we got married, and I'll tell you this, especially for my single people, when we were courting, dating, whatever, we waited to kiss until our wedding day. And a lot of people felt like, oh, you guys made it this rule that you had to like stick by. No, that's just what God told us to do, right? And we're doing what God called us to do. In the past, neither one of us had really healthy relationships. They were quite toxic. So we both really felt like, fresh start, right? Like, let's just really focus on the Lord in this and see how it goes. Then we ended up breaking up about 3 months in.
Right.
Because I felt like we had a lot of pressure from a lot of people about who we need to be. And I feel like we were public figures in our church at the time.
Right.
And we didn't.
I was a pastor's assistant.
Right. And I was a leader in the New York church. You were part of the Atlanta church, but I was a leader in the New York church. And, I just felt like we had a lot of pressure. Like, when are you guys getting married? And you guys going to do ministry and you're going to preach. And like, I just felt like we had a lot of pressure before we became quote unquote public figures. And all the pressure I kind of think caused us a wedge in between us. Right. So we end up breaking up, and then we end up getting back together. And you proposed within a year. It was about a year. We get married, and then we started ministry right away. So I felt like it was so hard, like in hindsight, because we did become public figures, and we also had a relatively new marriage. And that's a lot of pressure, because it's like, who are you?
Yeah.
Who am I? Who are you outside of your public figure person? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, and even bigger than that, who are you outside of religion? Who are you outside of, the expectations that everybody else has put you in? Like, who are you outside of a lot of that crap, And
that's real.
And then like you're newly married.
Yeah.
I was 22, 23.
You're 23, yeah.
23 at the time. I got married at 22 or 23. I got married
at 23.
Got married at 23.
2 days later, you're 24.
I turned 24 2 days later. So it was like, I'm 23 years old. I'm still trying to figure out who I am. And then you kind of get married, and then you're kind of coming into this duality, so to speak. You don't really know who each other is, and you don't really know what your marriage is. And I mean, even though we read all the marriage books, even though we did all the premarital stuff,
was like
we did all
8 months.
the premarital, like we did all of this stuff, and it's still like we got married, and then like my wife mentioned, we jumped into ministry, which I would highly recommend. You do not do
that.
Do not do that.
Do not,
because
run
that
in
adds
the other
on
direction.
A whole new layer of expectations that you just don't want.
I agree. It's almost like when people first get married, they're like, oh, wait to have kids. You want to wait to have kids so you can really get to know each other. But if you jump right into ministry, it's like you're having a kid.
Yeah, you're having a kid. It's almost like you're having triplets or quadruplets,
right?
Or sextuplets. Or
so now all of a sudden, like, you're trying to help people, and then you're still trying to navigate your new marriage, and then it's difficult. And I feel like I don't know. I felt like that hindered our relationship in the beginning because it became all about ministry and traveling and helping people. And it just became about that and not really like, oh, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, what do you like to do?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we still had a good time. That stuff, that ministry stuff did get in the way.
Yeah,
a lot.
We definitely had a good time.
We had a good time. We took some really, really amazing trips.
We did. We went to Dubai.
Dubai. Remember we did Puerto Rico, and I rented that Chrysler 300.
I told you to get the Jeep, but what do I know?
Look, hold on. You didn't tell me to get no Jeep.
I did, but you don't listen.
You didn't. God, no. You never told me to get the Jeep.
All right.
You never did.
Baby, I was looking at the Jeep, but I think it was more expensive, and my precious husband likes to save money.
I do like to save money. But anyway, I got a Chrysler 300, and then we ended up driving up El Yunque Mountain. And if you've never driven up El Yunque Mountain in Puerto Rico, let me tell you this right now. Do not do it in a Chrysler 300 because the roads are extremely narrow going up.
Yeah.
And a Chrysler 300 is a wide body car. You do not want to drive this up a mountain. But nevertheless, we drove it up the mountain. Then we got up there. My wife, beautiful wife, wanted to walk to go see the waterfall. Remember that?
I did.
And we were walking to go see the waterfall. And we were probably about 20 minutes in. Remember that? Was it a lady or a guy was sitting?
I'm so sorry for that lady.
There was a lady. She was like sitting on a rock, and she was literally massaging her feet. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hold up.
She wasn't doing good.
I said, hold on. How much further is this? And she's like, oh, just keep walking that way. You'll get to it. And we finally got to it. And, you get there, you take pictures, and that's about it. Right. But we did some awesome stuff. We took some awesome trips and all that kind of good stuff. But
yeah, it was great. So don't get me wrong. I think hindsight is always 20/20. I just think that when you're newly married and all of a sudden you're throwing yourself into being a public figure, you can put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's like you want to be perfect, right? You want to be an example to people. You want to help people, but you're still trying to deal with the inner trauma that you never dealt with before, and all of a sudden it resurfaced in marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, that happened. So I think in talking about this, we have to dive really, really deep into, just some of the things that we went through, but then also being able to help other people. And I think, one of the things that we can do and also helping other people, something we've been talking about for a very long time. Yeah. And we're just so thankful for one of the sponsors for our podcast, BetterHelp, who has been absolutely amazing just for us personally.
Game changer.
Being able to have, an online therapy solution has been a game changer. For me, has been a game changer for you. A lot of our family and a lot of our friends, we all use BetterHelp.
Yeah, we do. It's so cool, y'all. Y'all can log in right now and you can get connected with a therapist within 48 hours. How cool is that? They have financial aid if you need it. And on top of that, I feel like they deal with all the issues that we're dealing with: depression, anxiety, if you have panic attacks, anything, identity issues, any of those things, they help you walk through those things. You don't have to walk through these hard times alone, y'all. BetterHelp is available. You don't have to go into some office and wait and see a bunch of people. No, you can do it. Who
wants to do that anymore? It's 2022. Let's go sit in an office and wait.
Exactly.
No, bro.
You can do it from the comfort of your own home. And even if you don't want to do Zoom, they can do it without Zoom. So they don't even have to see your face.
Absolutely. I mean, we're talking about marriage right now, but you may not be married. You may be single. You may be out there. You may be like, I want to be married. You know what? This is a great time to prepare. Literally you need to contact BetterHelp online therapy, stress, trauma, whatever it may be, whatever you're going through. You need to go. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to, which is amazing, especially for all the introverts out there. Introverts, group hug separately. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp and Life with the Lindseys. Listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/Lindseys. Listen, that is BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Lindseys, LINDSEYS, not AEYS, and that is BetterHelp.com/Lindseys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just diving into this whole subject of marriage, and for those couples out there who they're in a very rough spot right now with marriage, and we've had very rough spots. Yeah. What would you say would be something that helped us out of a extremely rough patch?
I think putting myself in your shoes helped.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I had to put myself in your shoes because I think in marriage, it's so easy to look at your spouse and you ignore the reflection in your own mirror, right? But I had to look at myself and say, okay, how does he feel with the way that I am towards him?
Right.
Like, let me take a look at myself. Let me deal with my own, like, let me get some help on my own trauma, my own issues to see what I'm projecting, what I'm doing. Because I feel like sometimes we have a skewed vision of ourselves. Like we think we're so perfect or we think we're whatever. And we think it's everybody else's issue. Everybody else is a problem. And I realized, like, you know what, Heather, like you have a part to play in your marriage. No matter how you flip it, you have a part to play. And what part are you playing in your marriage? Are you a safe place for your husband? And I love Proverbs 31. It says that he trusts in his wife. And I realized, like, does my husband trust me? Like, am I a safe place for him? Like, let me look at myself. Is it fun to be around me? Is it hard? I mean, and I used to be super, super critical. And that was a big issue we had in the beginning of our marriage, where I looked down at everything you did.
Yeah.
Everything, y'all. I mean,
you could talk about it.
I mean, I would look down at the meat he was eating. I mean, and I used to sit there and eat the meat with him, right?
In the beginning,
right? And then I would look down at the food that you're eating, and I'm like, well, you're gonna die of a heart attack, and I mean, just speaking death over and over again, death and fear over my marriage. And I realized, like, who wants to be friends with somebody that's going around criticizing them and acting like they mama? Yeah. Like, you want to have fun with your spouse, right? So I had to step back, and I think one of the things that helped me was saying, like, Heather, like you need to work on yourself and not focus on your spouse. You need to work on you and just have fun and just be yourself and stop focusing on everything your spouse needs to change. Because guess what? You have just as much things or more that you need to change. Yeah.
And I would add to that, like kind of adding on to that, the whole judgmental piece, because you weren't the only one who was judgmental. I mean, I had my judgments. The only thing is I think you were probably a little more vocal with yours. Yeah. And I would just be like, God, here we go. You know, it was one of those things where I just kind of kept it in and I just suppressed and suppressed. But it's very easy for you to look at your spouse and be like, you ain't doing something right, or I wish you would do it like this, or I wish you would act like this, or and then especially when you start getting on social media and stuff, and then you start comparing your marriage.
Come on.
You start comparing your reality to somebody else's highlight reel, and it's like, yo, you don't even know these people.
Yeah.
Like, this dude could be beating her upside her head every Friday, and you sitting up here talking about these your relationship goals. Like, you don't know these people.
Yeah.
You should probably refrain.
Yeah.
You know, from assuming or trying to make that person's marriage like yours.
That's why, and it's funny, that's why I stopped posting as much as I used to post about, like, our marriage nonstop. Because I'm like, I don't want people to create an idol or an idea of what a relationship should be based on our highlight reels. Because although I did share that we had conflict and hard times, they didn't see that as much. They just saw the happy stuff. And then they got married and they're like, wait, I want my marriage to be like hers. And I'm like, well, baby girl, I'm going through the fire. Like, we go through the fire in our marriage, because you're taking two sinners, y'all, and bringing them together, telling them to be one, like two models that we've had, two traumas, all that stuff. You're bringing them together. Granted, it's beautiful and it's wonderful, but it's hard. Like, whenever I see people get married, I'm like, oh, they're going to go through such a beautiful, terrible time. Right? And it's real, because it's like, and then you throw kids into the mix.
Jesus.
And it's just like, whoa, you're getting ransacked, and then business, and then work, and then
it's like you're already drowning and somebody hands you a kid.
And then they're like, hey, make sure you guys are having sex all the time. You got to keep it spicy and keep it hot. Yeah. And then meanwhile, like, you got breast milk coming out of your boobs everywhere.
Come on, you get real now. You're talking about breast milk. And
right. Right. And it's just like, you're exhausted, you're tired, and you're worn out, and you don't feel like having sex. You don't feel like doing anything but being by yourself in a room with the door closed. You know what I mean?
And then, like, for women, like, you guys go through that special time of the month.
Our periods, right.
You got to go through your period.
And I don't want to fool, and I don't want to be around my husband. I don't want to be with my kids. I don't want to be around myself. Okay?
And everybody's like, and but then in that, you still have all these expectations, right?
These crazy expectations.
Yeah. Like, oh no, you need to make sure that you're a good parent, or you either make sure you're doing this for your kids, and if your kids don't get this, then your kids won't have a good childhood. And it's like, sometimes you just want to just sit back and be like, you know what? Shut up.
Just shut up.
I'm
trying to do my best that I can right now.
I'm struggling.
Right?
Help me.
Right? Exactly. Because it's funny, for a while, everyone's like, oh, your marriage is so perfect. It's so perfect. And then I would post like, oh, we got in a really bad argument. And they're like, oh my gosh, you guys are so perfect. And then I was like, okay. So, and it's good that we're talking about it, but that's the main reason I pulled back as much, because I'm like, I feel like social media is like, can be a great thing, but also could be a really bad thing to give them expectations that aren't real.
Exactly.
Right.
And here's the thing out there, people. Nobody needs to be concerned about your marriage except you.
Come on, and we good over there.
Like nobody, like who cares how much you post about it, what you talk about it. Like nobody, the details of your marriage are just good with y'all. If y'all are good, everybody's good. Move on. Like even with parenting and stuff like that, like you don't have to post your kids all the time for people to be like, oh, you're a good parent. It's like
I know I'm a good parent.
I know I'm a good parent.
My all.
Outside of what y'all think about me, I'm an amazing parent. My kids are blessed.
They are. We with our kids like 24/7.
We are with our kids all the time, and I be looking at my kids.
They were shocked that we were flying out to go.
I'm like, we have not left. I haven't left them in like 3.5 weeks.
And I literally have been turning down all of my speaking engagements. I'm not traveling right now. Like I'm like,
you're always at home.
I'm always at home, and so I looked at them and I'm like,
I need 4-week breaks. I'd be like, all right, y'all.
Seriously.
Hope y'all miss me.
Right. So, but I do think that something else to help people that are struggling with their marriage, let's talk about communication. I want to talk about your tone. We actually had a conversation this morning. So this morning, we hear from our agency, and I'm at the hotel. I'm trading with my stock group. What's up, busy traders? busytraders.com. Come join us and trade with us. So I'm trading, right? Living my best life. My husband sends me a message, says, we need to be ready in 45 minutes. We need to be there. And I was like, oop, I'm in my PJs, have not brushed my teeth, have not even ate yet today. We got a lot going on. Like this is, so mind you, I called our room service and they were like, hey, we are not serving breakfast. I was like, what the heck? How are you not serving breakfast? Like, this is a massive hotel. But I was like, whatever. So my husband's at the gym and I'm stressed because I'm trying to get dressed, shower, get ready. I'm on Uber Eats trying to see who can deliver food within the next 30 minutes. I'm trying to get out the door. So I call him to just say like, hey, they don't have room service. I'm trying to figure out how to get you food. And in my head, I'm just like rushing around. And he was like, go ahead. Go ahead, baby.
What? When I was
being intense.
I wasn't being intense. I got the text. Why am I coughing? I got the text message. No, I'm good. Okay. I got the text message and I was like, well, I think I called you. I call you or I text you?
No, you called me.
I called you and I was like, yo, like, why you coming at me all out the way?
I called you and I was like, oh, they don't have the room service.
Oh, you was like, you don't have room service.
Figure out what
you call me.
Food. Are you cool with a smoothie? And I'm just trying to do it fast in my head. I'm thinking business mode. I'm not thinking like, oh, be soft and sweet to your husband right now.
That's good. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Yeah. Because in the moment when I heard it, I was like, yo, like I'm in this boat with you. I'm in here trying to work out, trying to finish up my workout, like, with the little that I possibly can. And I just felt like you was coming at me. And I was like, yo. So I asked you though, I said, yo, like, is there a reason why like you coming at me like this? You were like, no, I'm not. We just have a lot going on right now. I need to get dressed. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I'm like, well, I'm in the same boat as you. So I just told you, I said, yo, you figure out what you want. I'll find me something. I'm good. I'm good.
I knew my baby wasn't going to eat. So then I was like, I apologize. I said that on the phone. I was like, I apologize if I came across as like business work right now and not like soft Heather. Because I feel like when I do speak with you, you want me to be softer and sweeter. And I got to
baby, you want me to be the same thing.
100%. It's both ways.
But that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times, like I don't mean to. Like, in fact, I
agree.
I even try to.
You be practicing?
I'll practice before I be like, okay, I'm not going to say it like this. I'm not going to say it like that. But even speaking of like how we talk to each other, one of the good things that I've been having a good conversation with my kids about is the fact that my kids feel like engineers. You want to know why? Because of KiwiCo. KiwiCo be coming through in the clutch. In the clutch. Like, listen, parents. Okay. Y'all got some kids out there, no matter what age level they're at.
Yeah.
KiwiCo offers these amazing mind-stimulating activities. I mean, especially like if you're a homeschool parent out there, you've been looking for something for your child to do. You got them in co-ops. You got them in all these things. They're going through the curriculum, but you still need that extra hour or two to kind of fill them up with something to allow for that side of their brain to get stimulated. Yeah. If you want to make your child like to be an engineer,
all day.
Right with KiwiCo. And then also, if you want to have some family altar time where you're, sitting down playing with your kid, but you're doing something that's mind stimulating, KiwiCo is the way to go.
It really is. KiwiCo delivers monthly science and art projects that celebrate a child's natural curiosity, and it sparks a love for learning. The really cool thing is they have different like STEM projects each month. So, for example, they have different age groups. So there'll be Logan will have his group. He has his box. Taylor has her box. And then Roman has his box. And it's all perfect for their age group. So we can all sit down and we work on different projects together. Remember we made that marble one that was really cool for Logan?
Yeah, even if you're making like a push-pull type of like marble thing or the pendulums or even like levees. I mean, it's all different types
Roman
of
had
things.
little animals. Remember his little animals that when he was learning his animals and stuff?
Absolutely. I mean, he still has those to this day. We still use that to this day. And I know for parents out there, you may be thinking like, oh, I don't want to have something else that the kids are not going to use. The kids can utilize this as they get older, which is absolutely amazing. It becomes a great art and science project when they bring their friends over to the house.
Yeah, definitely. You guys step into spring and celebrate the season of discovery with a KiwiCo subscription. So listen, y'all, our users get 30% off your first month plus free shipping on any crate, you guys. So use code LWTL at KiwiCo.com. That's 30% off your first month at KiwiCo. That's KiwiCo.com. Promo code LWTL.
And not only with that, but like, you know how people, they be trying to get paid and they be trying to wait on their paycheck. Nobody want to wait on a paycheck, especially when you got bills to pay.
Come on.
That's the reason why we also love Chime Financial. Here's the thing, parents. Not only can you get your Kiwi box sent to your house, but you can also get your check deposited into your Chime financial account. Come on, somebody. You're going to need that. Now that's up to 2 more days to save, pay bills, and generally just feel good about your money situation. But Chime is more than just about getting paid early. It's also an award-winning mobile app, checking account, debit card, and optional savings account. So here's the thing. I don't know what you all are waiting for out there. Like you're out there and you're saying, I don't have a safe place for me to make sure that I'm getting my direct deposit. I'm able to deposit my check and all those things. You need to check out Chime Financial. We have a lot of the people who we know who utilize Chime Financial. It's an amazing institution. It's an amazing product.
Yeah, we love it. So continue your credit journey with Chime. Sign up only takes 2 minutes, y'all, and it doesn't affect your credit score. So get chime.com/LWTL. That's chime.com/LWTL.
The Chime Credit Bureau Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank N.A. pursuant to a license from Visa USA Chime checking account and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Regular on-time payment history can have a positive impact on your credit score. Impact to score may vary, and some user scores may not improve. But
I love it.
The good thing is like, being able to have that good communication between us. I believe that effective communication can resolve a multitude of problems. I think something we had to work on was being able to identify in that moment. Yeah. Are you upset?
Yeah. Because in my head, I was just like, I'm rushing around. I'm not thinking, oh, this is your time to be sweet to your husband right now.
And in my head, I thought, are you blaming me?
No. And the thing is, I've learned my husband's style of communication and his thought process. So when I'm taking something to him, you take it so personal, even if it has nothing to do with you, because you feel like, and you said this before, you're like, I want to protect you. I want to make it easy for you.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm not mad at you. It's just, we need to get ready. I want to make sure you have food. You're working out. So in my head, I'm thinking he's going to be starving. If we don't eat for a couple hours, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, okay, we might not be able to get his bacon and eggs here, but is he cool with the smoothie? Right. And you're like, no, I'll figure out. And in my head, I'm like, he's not going to figure it out because I know my husband.
He's going to starve.
He's going to starve. And then
me, I just want to make sure that you've eaten. That's why I just like, you know what? Don't worry about me because I'm okay. I'll go without food. I just wanted to make sure that you ate.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm like, it's just like what you said. Like I get pissed off knowing that, crap, you not doing good.
Yeah. And same. And I don't do good when you're not doing good. So
ain't nobody doing good.
So I got you a smoothie. I was like, let me just get him a dragon fruit smoothie. I know he likes dragon fruit. I'll just get that. That'll hold him over. But no, I think just having that communication and stopping in the middle of those difficult conversations and saying, okay, are you saying this? Are you upset at me? And just having those that's communication.
Yeah.
That's building your communication skills. So if your communication sucks, then maybe you pull back and say, you know what, let me ask my spouse instead of assuming, because that's a big thing. Like, you could have gotten off the phone and been like, why is she mad at me? And then you could have came in and started a whole argument because you're like, I don't appreciate you talking to me like that. And in my head, I'm like, I'm just trying to make sure you're good.
Oh yeah, I was good. After I asked you on the phone, I was good. I mean, the text message was good that you sent, but when I got the phone, I was like, okay, she's good. And plus, I'm focused on working out. I just need to finish this workout. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, I'm cool. I was cool. Yeah. But I do feel like if you're out there, like you there's no way that you can have a good relationship and a good marriage without communicating. You have to be able to talk.
That's real.
You got to be. And then here's the thing. You got to be able to talk to somebody, but you can't talk over them and you can't talk at them. Yeah. You have to be able to talk with them. Like trying to talk over somebody is like maybe your husband or maybe your wife doesn't what's the word? They don't pick it up as quick.
Yeah.
And so you're sitting there and you're like, well, I feel like you should say more. I feel like you should, it's like you want them to respond the way you do. Yeah. And maybe you think a little bit quicker on your feet. And that's not how they are. Yeah. So you're talking over them and they're not able to think to be able to say what needs to be said. Or maybe you're talking at them because everything you're saying is just disrespectful and degrading. Yeah. And you're like, well, you're not communicating with me. That's not communication. Yeah. You're being disrespectful. Yeah. And you got one more time.
I think sometimes it's okay to like pull away. I think it's okay to pull away sometimes and being like, you know what? I don't want to talk about this right now. That's me. You like to talk. I mean, y'all issue. He's like, let's confront it. Let's bulldoze our way through it. And I'm like, I just want to like process right now. And that's okay.
It's okay.
You know what I mean? Because we have our different styles of communication, which is okay. But let's talk about moving forward. Like, I think something that's helped us when we hit hard times was we would take a staycation and we would go away and we would talk about the past, like our great memories that we had. Remember that one time we did this? Remember that one time we did this? It's like you're almost renewing your marriage by talking about your wedding day and what you liked and how much fun you had on the honeymoon and your dreams moving forward. I feel like when you revisit things that you have in common, it helps to refresh your marriage. Yeah. Right?
I think that vision can keep an organism alive.
Yeah.
Because it gives you hope for something. Yeah. And when you get with your spouse, you're able to get away, you're able to envision, you're able to think about, I know you guys are probably in what you would consider your dream house right now. Yeah. But have you ever just taken a drive with your spouse and thought, is this really the dream house we want? Is this it? Or do we want more? Yeah. Let's think about what's out there. Let's dive deeper into something else. So I think the vision helps to expand the life of the organism, but also being able to just reminisce over those good old times. Yeah. And if you're thinking back, you may be listening to this like, well, I ain't had no good times. Maybe it's a time to create some. Yeah. And we've been trying to like encourage y'all that you ain't got to take a whole trip to another country. Yeah. Like sometimes, and we did this before when we lived in Mississippi. We did an overnight bag and we put it in a trunk. And we didn't even know if we were going to stay. And we just drove to Alabama. Remember that? Yep. And I remember we went on Hotel Tonight and we booked a really cheap room. It was like $14, I think. I think it was more. It was more like 40 or 50. Oh. It's okay. And for us, that was a lot. Yeah. So we just booked, it was like a Marriott or something. I remember it was a Aloft. It was the Aloft Hotel. Yeah. So I walked in, I was like, is this like a college dormitory? Right. I was like, this. But it was so cool though. Like we needed that. We needed that time to just get away. And you might say, oh, I don't have any good memories, but I feel like negative talk is not going to help your marriage. If you're in a pit, you have to find something to be grateful and thankful for. There's a reason y'all got married. Y'all obviously had good times at some point. Yeah. Right? Like you have to find something to be thankful or joyful about. And you need to invest in your marriage. You have to invest in your marriage before you invest in your children, because your children are going to leave the house one day and you still going to be with your spouse. That's real. Invest in your marriage before you invest in your children. Yeah. Don't have your kids, like your kids out here wearing all the nicest stuff, but like your marriage is struggling. Like some ain't right. Yeah. Like invest in your marriage. And one of the things that we've done for years, if we've had a marriage retreat, I know. We've had a marriage retreat. And so we haven't been able to do it the past 2 years. this year, we're finally bringing it back. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And we're going to be in Mexico. We're flying into Cancun, Mexico. We're going to be probably about 45 minutes or so outside of Cancun, Mexico. It's October the 2nd through the 6th. October the 2nd through the 6th. That's a Sunday through a Thursday. Hey, we have payment plans that are available. You can actually go on to our Instagram. It's in our bio. It's a link in our bio.
We'll also add it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, we can add it down at the bottom, but make sure you click it. Make sure that you do it. We have payment plans that are available for those of you who need payment plans. But we have all different type of excursions lined up for you. The cool thing is that the resort is all inclusive. I mean,
it's so nice. It's so dreamy. I've been there. I actually had a speaking engagement there, and I was blown away by how good the food was. And I don't do all inclusive restaurant food, y'all. But I'm plant-based, and I got so full every night, and I got seconds and thirds, and I am not ashamed of that.
And that's something that's good, because we and with our marriage retreats, we want to have we like to have a good amount of fun with a good amount of learning. So we're gonna have some sessions. The sessions are gonna be dope. If you ever been to one of our marriage retreats in the past, you already know. We lock it down to 25 couples, so you get in where you fit in. I believe we're almost at that threshold right now. But make sure you get in where you fit in and all that kind of good stuff. But not only just talking about threshold, getting where we fit in and making sure that stuff works, but y'all know I love to go to the gym. You know I love to work out. And Ritual protein, and you being vegan, like, this is right up your alley, babe.
It's right up my alley, because y'all know I don't play about what I eat and what I put in my body, and the fact that they're plant-based and they're totally clean. I mean, we came across Ritual first with their multivitamins. Our whole family uses the vitamins in which we love. And so when I found out they were having they were creating a protein, I was so excited, because I'm like, finally, something that's plant-based, that's clean. And I feel like a lot of these protein powders, they'll have like milk and stuff in them. And I'm like, I don't eat that. And it messes up my stomach. Ritual actually tastes good. The protein tastes delicious. I love the different flavors. I put it in, I put a banana smoothie. I make a banana smoothie with it. I throw some bananas in there. Some of the protein powder, some almond butter, and some almond milk. So good.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, like, they have the Daily Shake 18 plus. They have the Daily Shake 50 plus. So those are for all of our younger, older people out there.
Yep.
And we also have the Daily Shake pregnancy and postpartum. So there's literally no excuse for anybody out there. I mean, you literally take it, you throw it in your gym bag. When you get finished working out, you just throw some water in there, shake that sucker up. You're good to go. And plus, the Ritual, just go in and get the shaker bottle while you at it. But it's traceable. You get daily support that you need. It's great taste, sustainably sourced. It's just all the good stuff. So ready to shake up your protein, Ritual? All of our listeners get 10% off during your first 3 months at ritual.com/LWL. Ritual even offers a money-back guarantee if you're not 100% in love. So here, you're listening to this, you're saying, I don't know if I'm going to like it. Ritual is going to give you your money back 100% if you do not like it. So visit ritual.com/LWL. That's ritual.com/LWL today for 10% off your first 3 months.
Come on. That's amazing.
So I love what you're talking about, babe, like making sure that, that you get that time in, you're investing in your marriage, and you're doing what you need to do. You have any, like, another pointer or something like that you can give to the people who are saying they're going through a very rough time right now?
I think just being kind to your spouse.
I love that.
I know it's something that seems so simple, but it's like how we talked about tone and stuff, but sometimes we can be so nice to strangers, but when we come home, we are so mean and we're so harsh towards our spouse. But just saying, like, okay, if I've done it to the least of them, I've done it to Jesus. So if I'm treating and looking down on my spouse, then that's how I'm looking at, the Father. So in my head, I'm like, okay, let me make sure that I'm doing my part to show kindness, because I'm setting the atmosphere in my home. And not only that, my kids are going to pick up on my attitude that I have towards daddy.
Yeah.
If I'm not respectful towards daddy, then they're not going to be.
Yeah.
If you're not respectful towards me, then they're not going to be, right? You're not going to enforce it. We're not going to be a team. Our kids need to see us as a team, as a unit. And I feel like when we go through a hard time, we forget that, like, generations after us are looking towards us right now, like right in this moment.
They're hoping we fight for this.
Yeah, and work through it. Like, I want us to be that married couple that's like, oh, we've been married for 60 years. You know what I mean? and just laughing and just being like, well, here we go. She's still complaining about what food she gonna eat, you know?
So I was in Whole Foods the other day. I called you about this.
You did. It was so cute.
But it was an older couple. They were it was so funny. And they were arguing through the store. So it was walking up the aisle and they're arguing back and forth. And they stopped right by me. I was looking at the spices and they stopped right by me. And the wife said something. And the husband was like, I told you it wasn't here. I told you it wasn't here. And the wife was like, no, believe it is here, blah, 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 blah. But they were arguing about something. They said something, and I laughed. And he looked over at me. He was like, what are you laughing at? And I said, I'm laughing at y'all. And I was like, does it, I looked at him, I said, does it ever stop? Does the arguing ever stop? And they were, I forgot how many years, 41 years, I think. And they were like, he's like, nope, don't ever stop. He said, it's been 41 years. And I said, so what is it? He said, you just learn not to take it personally. And he said that, my wife told me, I tried to tell my wife that they didn't carry this in here. They carry it at Sprouts. They don't carry it in here. But she just swore up and down they carried it up in here. But she was upset because he cussed. He cursed and she's like, oh, potty mouth. And I was
language.
Just like, yeah, language. And I was just like, yo, if this is not me and my wife, like right now, because you would be looking at me and I say something, you like, baby, potty
language.
Mouth. Babe, did you have to say that? And I'm like, and then he looked at her and he said, well, I cuss. That's what I do. I curse. And the crazy thing is, I said that to you like
3 days ago. 3 days and I was like, yo, language, bro. Like,
I was like, yo, I cuss. Okay. That's what I do. You may not do it, but I do. Yo, but be able to see that couple who's 41 years in the game.
So in 40 years, I'm still going to be like language.
Get language. Like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, maybe a new conviction may hit my heart. It ain't hit it yet, it ain't even got close. But nonetheless.
Oh gosh, you're going to have all these people messaging.
I'm joking.
I
know, babe, I know. But I think even just recognizing your differences.
Yeah.
We just have one more. It's like recognizing your differences, where you are, and then being able to, if you recognize those differences, and being able to at least respect them.
Yeah.
I think we have to be able to just respect the differences that we have, because if not, we ain't doing good.
I mean, we just have to take it one day at a time. I think sometimes when you're in the pit of a hard time in your marriage, and what happens is the enemy comes in and he starts attacking you, you'd be happier if you left this marriage. Look at so-and-so, they left their marriage and they're living their best life online. Like so-and-so left their marriage and they're happy. So-and-so did this. Like you would be so much happier. And that's how the enemy does. He comes in and he just accuses our spouse. Look at them doing that. And the thing is, if you create in your head a narrative that your spouse is this way, the enemy is going to come and meet you there.
Yeah.
And that negative place. But if you set in your mind, like, you know what? My spouse is amazing. They're led by the Lord. He's a man after God's own heart. Like the Lord will meet you there. And I feel like whatever narrative you come up in with your head, the enemy will meet you there. So I've had to learn in my life to just say, you know what? Like, I'm going to believe the best about my marriage at all times.
Yeah.
And I want the Holy Spirit to meet me there in that. And I'm just going to take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
Like having this expectation, like, oh, well, my husband's going to stop cussing. Like, I have no expectations. I have none. All I'm going to do is work on me not silently cursing, because I might not curse out of my mouth.
Oh, there we go. Come on.
But I might think, but I'll think it. I'll think it.
There you go.
I might not say it.
I just say it.
You just say it.
I say it for both of us.
Oh my gosh.
Sure do.
But I remember this one time I was going through something and I thought such a bad word and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Lord. I felt so convicted.
I don't get convicted
about it.
I ain't got no conviction.
But I did, baby.
Whatsoever. I know.
Right. But I did. So, but my thing is, I believe that, the Bible even says if you think it, it's still a sin.
Come on.
So it's like, who am I to come down on you about your language? But I think it. So it's the same thing, right? So then it's like being like, all right, Lord, I surrender that to you. I surrender that area. Maybe I'm loading my schedule too much, but just realizing like one day at a time. So if you get anything from this, and another thing that I do, I say from this moment forward in our marriage, from this moment forward, I'm going to believe the best about my husband. From this moment forward, I'm going to be encouraging to him. From this moment forward, I'm the wife that God has called me to be. Like from this moment forward, yeah, I might have messed up in the past. Yeah, I might have been super critical or whatever in the past. But from this moment forward, it's a new day, it's a new moment, and God is going to meet me here.
Yeah, and you've been incredibly dope. Y'all, we appreciate y'all joining us every single week. Hey, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you comment. Yes. Make sure that you share this with your family, your friends. Y'all probably know some married couples out there who are going through some stuff right now. Like, instead of being like, yeah, girl, I know he ain't nothing. Why don't you just send him this podcast? Be like, hey, you just sitting out talking with your homies. You like, yo, I got this podcast, yo, like for real. I got this podcast. Like, y'all probably want to listen to it. Like, they just real. And also, I want to make sure that y'all hit us up. Y'all hit me up on I have a soul care app or a soul care community. You can text into it. I want to make sure that y'all stay with us. Y'all rock with us. If you want to, you can actually text into it right now. It's absolutely free. The number is 323-405-9407. Again, it's 323-405-9407. Go ahead and text into it right now. It's absolutely free. 323-405-9407. Text in. Make sure you say hello to me. I can text you back, all that kind of good stuff. Let's just stay connected. Hey, y'all, we love y'all so much. Life with the Lindseys. We're going to be back with y'all next Friday.
Yes. Bye.